Hello everyone, in this video we will learn about class component. What is class component, how to create a class component, and what are lifecycle methods in class component. So what is class component? Older versions of React used to create a component using class component, and there we used lifecycle methods, constructor, create a class component. But after React introduced hooks, then we shifted from class component to functional component. Whenever we have to create a component now, we create it using functional component. But we will see in this video how we can create a class component, because it is necessary to learn about class component, because some projects, in older projects, we need to learn about class component so that we can work on that, right? We will create a class component and let's see how it is being created. Currently this is a functional component. We'll create a class component now. Create a class component, we'll type class, then the component name. Hence will inherit from react.component. Inherit from, this is the base class react.component. From here we can edit the functions, and we will create constructor, and we will put one attribute props. Then we will put super method. Super method is responsible for initializing the like calling the constructor of base class and initializing all the required things. If we will not put this, and if we try to access like this dot set state or anything like that, it will give us error. So due to that reason, it is necessary to put super function here. Now here we will, after doing that, we will write this dot state and equal to one state variable count. Okay, now we have render function. Render function responsible for placing the component inside DOM. Then it will return HTML, like render function will return HTML. Here we have div element, inside it we have head tag, inside head we will put class component. Then we will have p tag. P tag we will put for showing the count. For the count we will put this dot state, will show us the count. After this we will create one button. This will create button name. I will put is increase. One more button I will create is decrease or decrease count. We will have on click on both of button. Have on click on both the buttons. After that we will create one arrow function, increase count. Arrow function for increasing the count, and one arrow function for decrease count, decreasing the. We will put it like this, and will be for decreasing the count. Now we will set this dot state, and inside it put count, and this dot state dot count. Will set count increase by 1. Same we will do it for decrease count, but we'll put it here minus. We are getting this one. Okay, so we have increase count and decrease count now. And go to browser and check whether it is working or not. Go to about section and we will increase the count. It is increasing, it is decreasing. Now we will check about like this is the way how we can create the class component. And now we will see about how the lifecycle methods is working in class component. So we have three kind of lifecycle, like life cycles are categorized in three parts. First one is mounting, where the component will be placed inside DOM, and the functions which is used here, there are lots of mounting lifecycle methods, but I will talk here only one, is component did mount. So we will create one here, and the second phase is updating phase. Side updating phase we have component did update, and the third phase we have is component did unmount. Side unmount phase we will have a function called component did unmount. So we will see it practically here. So for mounting we will create component did mount. When the component will mount, it will be triggered, this function will be triggered. Component did mount. Then after we have for updating, component did update. Then for unmounting we have component did unmount. So we have these three lifecycle methods here. Now we will check how these how it is getting called, like the steps wise, right? Which one will be called? See, I will put a debugger on function, right? Constructor, then did mount, then component did update, and inside component did unmount. Component will unmount. So we have debugger on it, and we have console log. Also we will put one console.log on constructor as well, and it will be triggered. We will know constructor. Now we will go to browser and we will check how it is getting called. So firstly, when we will refresh our page, we will firstly go to constructor. Constructor is called, initialize all the things here. Then it will go to render. After constructor will be called only once. Then it will go to render. Render will be called whenever our component is having any update, like state changes, then render function will be called. Then it goes to component did mount, because after the component is placed inside DOM, component did mount will get triggered. Component did mount will also be called only once. It will only be called once. So now we have we saw that firstly it goes to constructor, then it goes to render, then it goes to component did mount. After, like when we update, like update the increase, then what will happen is it will go and set the state. After that it will go and render, because render will be triggered whenever component is updated. After that it goes to component did update, will update it. Whenever the state changes, component did update will be triggered and the render function will be triggered. Okay, so now we have to check component will unmount. Currently we are on about page. When we will go to home page, you can see here, firstly we'll go and unmount the component. Like what unmounting means is it is removing the component from the DOM, right? Will remove the component. So this is all about class component. I